This may be weird to watch this or listen to this, which I advise that you just listen to it, but I had to get this off my chest, so I'm going through my nightly routines. I'm not gonna put on clothes just to make this video, but so every night I go through my devotional, and there's so much I could say, but to get to the essence of why I wanted to record this is because I am extremely grateful for where I am. There are so many tough times that I was just completely lost. And I'm saying these things, and truthfully, it might be another couple weeks or maybe even just a week or so, and I'll be back in a place where I'm lost. Maybe, I don't know. But I am extremely grateful for where I am, all the growth. And so the essence of why I wanted to say this is because I think it's important for people to know that I personally needed all of my hard times, all of the confusion, all of the turmoil, if you will call it that. I think that many people have went through worse. And, I say that, but just another added little perspective, if you will, is that everybody goes through different stuff. On the outside looking in, one may have more weight or more difficult or more challenged than the other. Like, dealing with alcoholism might be super, super challenging to the masses, but let's say someone's just struggling to get out of high school. That could be just as, if not more, struggling to another individual. So there's just some perspective to add in there, because I feel like I just diminished my struggle by saying that other people go through it worse than I did, when I think that all of that crap, it balances out in the end anyway. So there's so much I have to say, so much wisdom to share. It's far beyond my years of life to share, and I don't share as much because I don't know how to share it in a way that I overthink how it should be delivered. Communication is just paramount in all that makes up who I am. And so not only do I want to communicate it properly, but I want it to be heard. But I also think I'm overthinking it. So this is my attempt at breaking through that habit of overthinking. I was literally mid-nightly routine and just sparked it. So anyway, I hope this is helpful in some way, shape, or form. And I wish you all a great day. Be present. That is the lesson that I am learning in a very challenging manner right now in this phase in my life, is actually embodying what it means to be present. And sometimes, and I know this is added, I was about to wrap up the video, but F it. So sometimes or what I used to do is I used to think that by me being present, I would sit here and I would plan. I have a big dream of what I want to do, right? And I'm nowhere close to it. And so I I oftentimes think that there's so little time left. It's it's almost like, and here's another thing, I'm religious, so you'll see me mentioning God a lot. So deal with it. Um but I'll be taking over, or I used to, right? In the phase that I'm in right now, I'm working through that, but um I used to take over his role, which is the future, and my role is the present, by sitting here worrying about what I'll need to do tomorrow, the next day, the next day, the next day, in order to get to a desired goal. And I would always try to be as efficient as possible. And subconsciously, at one point, I was even thinking that by doing actions today, certain actions, or quote unquote, the right actions, would actually be helping God in a way. Again, this wasn't conscious. I wasn't thinking, oh, hey, God needs my help. But with my actions, I was. Um, and another added perspective to those that are maybe have church hurt, or just are like, what is this whole God stuff about? Or if you just don't understand the logic behind it, like, why does God do this and that, or what have you? And why does he allow such bad things happen to people and such like that? Now, I'm not going to lie and try to say that I can understand all the nuances from it, but one perspective to kind of share with you is, imagine that you needed to train. Let's just say you had a kid. We'll just keep it real simple, right? Let's say that you have a child, right? But after the child is born, your child never sees you, right? But you have all the power in the world, right? And you want that child to love you so much, but what's important to you is that that child loves you on their own. If I go out and I'm trying to think of a perspective to kind of like compare it to, but I don't want to talk. So, okay. There's so many places I could go with this. Let's say that there's a machine that sews a t-shirt, right? Hand stitches or sews a t-shirt together. And no, that's going the wrong direction. Anyway, I'm sorry. This is real time, not edited. But I guess what I'm getting at is, in order to teach your child things without actually manipulating and forcing them to do things, you would need to put things in places. They'd need to learn lessons the hard way, and every child is going to learn differently. So imagine having millions of kids with millions of different upbringings. All of these people, I mean, some people only have 2, 3, 4 kids, and each one of them grow up in the same household with the same parents, go to maybe some of the same schools, and all turn out different. So imagine if you had to parent these people, these kids, all without forcing them. It had to be free will. So you have to find a creative. Anyway, I think I went too far into that. But anyway, the original reason for me writing this was just I'm grateful for all the work that God put into my life, hard and soft. And the highs in my life are so high, and the lows in my life have been really freaking low. And I mean, the only thing that matters to me are the highs. I mean, why sit here and waste time stressed about the lows? I mean, most of my stress times is trying to stay, or at least these days, is trying to stay present, not to stress about what may or may not come, and just leave that in God's hands. But yeah, anyway, I hope this finds you well. I wish you all well. That's all. Have a good one. Take care.